you know, a guy who's been doing this for a long time and continues to amaze at 37, and a young guy over there, and he just destroys everything defensively. It's just so hard to get an easy basket. And every time you think you're free, he just comes out of nowhere and blocks a shot or gets in the way. And that was an incredible basketball game. High level competition. I thought the Spurs defense was fantastic. They came out obviously after the other night when we were flowing and really moving the ball. They bottled us up pretty well, but really proud of our guys for sticking with it.
Are you having Paris flashbacks at the end there?
Yeah, actually I wasn't, but yeah, I mean, I still think about that photo of Steph, with Wemby running at him in Paris. I got to get that photo copied and put it in my house somewhere. But yeah, it's pretty remarkable watching Wemby play, just to see the versatility, the poise, everything he does to impact the game. He's a remarkable player.
You played Steph 36 minutes tonight, I think the entire third. You mentioned you guys were kind of getting bottled up. How much did it just feel like he was the offense?
Yeah. I mean, we ended up with 18 assists, and we were trying to move the ball. I thought the intentions were great, but they were, again, super physical, and Wemby was everywhere. We just couldn't really get our offense going, and felt like we were going to have to ride him a few extra minutes, and we didn't plan on playing him the whole third. I tried to take him out with about 2 minutes left, but there was no stoppage in play, and he played the last 8. But you can see the difference, in his rhythm, his conditioning, now after being out for a week, and I think in some ways that helped his legs, but he needed a couple of games to get the conditioning and the rhythm back. But yeah, that was an incredible performance.
How important is it to see the response from this team, these back-to-back games after the loss in OKC against another great team like the Spurs?
Yeah, it was it's just a fantastic, 2 victories over a hell of a team on their home floor. Coming off that stretch where we were really struggling. So really proud of the team, and excited about where we are and where this is going as we look forward. But we're only halfway through the trip, so we got some tough games left.
What did you make of Draymond's defense tonight on Jimmy?
He did everything he possibly could. Draymond is always going to battle, and he's one of the great competitors I've ever been around. And obviously, he was getting pretty emotional out there. It was a battle, and he got the 5th foul, and we took him out, and then Al came in, did a really good job. Draymond came to me at the timeout at 3 minutes, and he said, "Hey, if that group's rolling, you want to stay with them, stay with them." And I felt that way, and I think I played Al, a couple more possessions, and then when they scored, it's like I have to get Draymond back in the game. And the way he closed it, beautiful assist to Steph on the out of bounds play, and then defensively just doing what he does, that was really impressive.
And Steve, when Draymond is like out of his mind and very emotional, is it better to talk to him or just leave him alone?
No, he can't hear me when he's like that. But I was kind of out of my mind too. I got a technical too, and we were both pretty emotional during that stretch, and the team really did a great job of kind of staying calm and poised, and Steph just completely took over. The whole second half. I mean, it was great in the first half too, but you could tell he was just feeling it, and amazing to watch him play.
Forced 20+ turnovers.
Yeah.
How significant was just the defensive effort as a collective?
Yeah, I mean, it feels different when Gary is playing like he has the last couple games, and we're giving him those minutes to pressure the ball, but also to contribute to the overall defense. He's a brilliant defender, and he obviously hit a couple of huge threes, but I think overall the defense has really stepped up the last couple of games, but the offense has helped the defense by taking better care of the ball and having better possessions. Even though we struggled to make shots tonight, I liked our possessions, but they were so physical and we couldn't get past them. It felt like we had 7 or 8 possessions that went down to the last second of the shot clock, and we just couldn't do much with them other than and Steph and Jimmy. So we kept going to those two, obviously. But even then, it was really tough.
Step to the line, 6 seconds left, has to hit both. Is any part of you like nervous or wondering if he might make?
I'm nervous, but I'm not wondering if he's going to make them or not. I mean, it's obviously a game on the line, and for him to step up there and knock them down, I think everybody expects it, but we shouldn't take that for granted. That's pressure time, and he just calmly stepped up and knocked him down, and we all expected that, but that's who he is.
Between the intensity and the adjustments, did these 2 games feel like a mini playoff series?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously they're a rising, young team, talented, well coached, and really defensive minded. I thought they came out with a really physical mindset tonight to take us out of our patterns and to try to put pressure on us, and they did it. They did a really good job of that. So it did feel like a playoff game, especially tonight. The other night, it was a little different. It was a little looser, a little freer, and tonight felt more like the physicality of the playoffs.
After Steph's go-ahead free throws, what were you expecting them to do on the final second?
Well, I thought they might go to Wembanyama, but Draymond with 6 seconds left, Draymond's physicality and his ability to get underneath Wemby, I understood why they went to Fox. I mean, he was having a great game, and there's enough time where he can attack and dribble. Moses and Gary executed the switch really well, and we forced a tough shot.
Pods, 10 points and 3 assists, 3 rebounds. This kind of when you think of the ideal Pods game, closing out the game in the fourth quarter, this kind of what you think.
Yeah, these last 2 games he's been brilliant, and it's he's a little bit like Draymond in that what he does doesn't always end up reflected in the box score. I thought his 3 was maybe the shot of the game from the top of the key. It just kind of kept us right there. I think it cut it to 1, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, Steph hit everything, but BP's 3, Gary's 2 threes, guys stepping up to keep us in the game. But Brandin does so much out there. I thought he had another great game.
We are from Argentina. We came here from Argentina because Sports Center is celebrating 25 years as Spanish in Latin America. So you played with him. He should be good for you as a coach now. Would you like to have Manu Ginobili as a player in the Warriors? And if Manu plays would
I like to have Manu Ginobili on my team? Oh my gosh. Would I ever? Manu, I played with him my last year, and it was his rookie year. And it was amazing watching him play, but also just who he was as a teammate. He meant so much to the locker room, just the chemistry, the camaraderie, the joy that he played with, the connection he had with the fans. And there's not a coach alive who wouldn't want to have Manu Ginobili on his team. Just a brilliant, brilliant player.
should be nice. Curry together.
That'd be a hell of a backcourt. That'd be pretty nice. Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Appreciate it. This game feel like the playoff game?
Yeah, every in-season tournament does, for sure. Trying to win, trying to get somewhere beyond just these 4 games.
What was it like, out there with Steph tonight, doing what he was doing?
Yeah, it's fun to be a part of, fun to watch. Just trying to help out in any way that I could.
What's more difficult did they make tonight? But like they ramped up physicality and what you
Just a little bit more switching. Last game they stayed with their matchup primarily, and we were able to screen well. Tonight they did switch, so just had to figure it out on the fly.
When Steph goes to the line with like 6 seconds left and they're trying to fire up the crowd, it's like, are you nervous at all? Or you just like basically think it's just
No, never.
What do you see on that last defensive play? Fox got
Yeah, Gary did a great job. Good communication. Thankfully he missed a shot.
did these 2 wins feel? As you know, you guys were kind of, 4-1, then it was 6-6. How big this pocket is going to?
Yeah, I mean, any win always helps, but facing a team that's 8-2, they had their rhythm coming in and getting 2 that we needed. It's big for us.
Like you guys found a rhythm these last 2 games, or anything in particular?
Just playing hard. Ball movement. I think Steve just said we had the most passes in a game this year, last game for us. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I think. Yeah.
I feel like anything has clicked for you these past couple of games.
Nah, just playing hard, moving the ball. Trying not to turn it over. That's pretty much it.
Confident before to get these 2 and find the rhythm that you guys are in right now. What does it do for the group collectively?
I mean, I think it just gives everybody just a little bit more confidence, that we can, compete with anybody on anybody's floor. But that's really it. We don't try to look too much into it.
Steph tied Michael Jordan for
Mhm.
the most 40-point games after turning 30 tonight. Is that ever like surreal, just like sharing the court, being a teammate with him?
Yeah, for sure. God's blessed him in a lot of ways, and he's taken full advantage of all those blessings.
Gary, how would you describe the competitiveness, intensity of tonight's game, but also the game here at night?
I liked it. We had 2 good games. They let us play, let us be physical. It was just a dogfight, First team come out with 50-50 balls and, make the extra little plays. I think would have came out on top. And that team did both nights. Absolutely. With these cup games, they do change the importance of the game a little bit. We're playing for something, so everybody wants to come and try to get to Vegas and make an extra couple dollars. I think he's fully healthy now. I don't think he's sick anymore, so it's just good to see him out there. Get his normal runs, normal jogs, normal bounces, normal rhythm. So once he gets going, we just try to find him, try to get him open, make it easy for us.
How would you describe the battle between Draymond and Wemby the last couple?
It's one to watch. It's good, They let him down there. They let him bang down there. So it's fun to watch. And of course, you want to get on the floor. You gotta, be cognizant of, what's going on, but still have his back when he needs it. He can handle it. But Wemby's Wemby, so just make it tough for him. But Dre's an all class, world class. He knows what to do. He knows how to handle it. So we let him, do what he does.
The intention and intensity that he had tonight, do you guys thrive with that as a team?
Absolutely. He brings it every night. He sets the tone, we follow. We also have his back, for whatever reason. But he's our leader on defense. He's vocal. He knows what to do. He sniffs out everything that, other opponents do. So we let Dre be Dre.
You get kind of riled up like that too?
Yeah, exactly. It was that tech right there probably got us going more than anything. So, Steve fights for us. We'll go to the wall for Steve. So, we'd love to see that fire with him. Draymond sniffed it out early. We pre-switched before me and Moses. It was up to me and Moses down to handle the guard-to-guard action. And we readied it, and just try to make it tough for De'Aaron. He hit a couple crazy ones in the middle of that fourth. So just try to make it tough, and we got the bounce that we wanted.
Let's play. What is the strategy?
Get a stop. No, yeah, he wants to try to get to the rim, so we cut that off, and he takes that midi, contest, don't foul. We got the bounce that we needed. Huh? You guys are great. Enjoy your night in San Antonio.
You noticed Wemby firing the crowd up before your free throw?
Absolutely.
You like when something like that?
It just keeps you engaged. Like, I'm aware of everything. It's pretty fun. I don't think I I like the free throws at the end of the game. Like, you got to find something to take the nerves out. And for me, like, that's just embracing the moment and smiling, having a good time. And when he started that, especially with their fan, whatever the fanatics they got up there in the stands right behind the basket, I kind of wanted to acknowledge it and not let it surprise me. So I played into it. Thankfully, I made them.
Playoff game tonight.
Yes and no. I mean, having played them back-to-back games and subtle adjustments, that is always fun to try to figure out on the fly. Like, and they were pretty fast and physical in the first half, and shots were a little hard to come by. But then we kind of settled into it. And to your point about just the intensity, the in-season tournament thing, it's working in a sense of giving you an atmosphere and something that feels a little different than just a normal regular season game. Guys really want to get to Vegas.
How aware were you of tying Michael Jordan for 40-point games at your age?
Very aware. I threw up I did it backwards though. It's the second time I've done that. But yeah, I was aware of it for sure. Something just, I didn't know about it going one away until last game, and then obviously was asked about it. And then when I got over that number, like, that's pretty cool, just from an individual accomplishment perspective, just to be able to be in that type of company. And longevity is something I pride myself on, so that was pretty cool.
Did the fact you wore Nike's pregame with that for that second fact?
I'm free agent. I'm out here as new beginnings. I was, blessed to have an unbelievable experience, to take a chance on something that meant a lot to me over the last 13 years, and extremely proud of what myself, my team, everybody who was able to touch that business for that long. We all should be proud of what we were able to accomplish, and taking a basketball brand or a brand and category that wasn't really a thing before to where we did. But I'm excited about the future.
Why did that partnership end now? Why did that partnership with Under Armour end now?
Just in the best interest of both parties. The sneaker industry is difficult, and like I said, things change over time, and to the point of you give your best effort to create something sustainable. And a little disappointing knowing how it turned out based on where Curry brand has been the last 5 years, and the announcement we had 2 years ago. But I think it's the right thing for everybody, and for me to be able to take the opportunity with Curry brand and what we've done in the community, what we've done from standing for something, changing the game for good is our tagline, and hopefully having something to show for it down the road. I'm excited about that.
So why did you choose to wear the modest niggas pregame?
I think it's, well, one, I know it's just weird seeing me in anything else other than my own shoes, but just the idea of what he meant. I've talked about Kobe a lot, and that specific pair, I think it speaks for itself what it means. And other than that, it's just something that wanted to take advantage of that moment and pay tribute. And I think it gave me some good energy tonight.
Will you be sticking with those shoes or testing out different companies pregame? Like, how will that work?
I mean, the good thing about this situation is I love my own shoes when I'm out there hooping. Like, that's why I put those back on, and why I've designed, the kicks I have for as long as I have. But yeah, I'm gonna have some fun with this, and like you said, or like the question is in terms of being open to whatever opportunity is the right fit. But I'm gonna try everything out.
Back to the game, how much do you guys thrive when Draymond's in that kind of intention, the intensity that he had with Wemby tonight?
I mean, he takes those challenges on, and the idea of he's not afraid of any moment or anybody on the other side. And we know, like, Wemby's gonna get his numbers, he's gonna have his moments, he's an unbelievable player. But over the course of the game, you're gonna make him work, and you're gonna feel him. And I told him, like, you remind people who you are. It's not about anything other than making your presence felt, and he did exactly that. And thankfully we were able to make enough plays down the stretch where it mattered. So that's why Draymond is who he is. He plays way above his size, and he has his whole career. And you can ride with that type of energy any night.
How much does it fire up Steve Kerr get attacked there in the 34th? It's kind of fire you guys up.
Yeah, we love it. I mean, he's broken clipboards along the way. He's gotten texts. He gets fiery. This morning he was in his bag in terms of his speech he gave in our pregame meeting this morning, and you could tell like he still has that fastball if he needs it, and it's important for us to have that energy, over the course of 82. Like, we're all in this fight together. I think he talked about that this morning. He showed it out there, and whether you win or lose, like, you just want to have a unit and a team that's together, coaches included.
What was unique about his pregame speech or even the shoot around when
I've never heard him. Well, I shouldn't say never. He rarely talks about his Chicago days, and he gave some references to, how they approached their team and their identity by comparisons to like how a band comes together and everybody playing their role. You got your lead singers, you got your bass, your acoustic, your electric, whatever. You got your drummers, you got the stage hands, you got the guy that's plugging in the speakers. He said he was just above plugging in the speakers guy. But it speaks to like it all matters. There's value in all of that when a band's going on a tour. And I think Phil Jackson instilled that in him, and he used that as a reference for how we need to play and how we need to approach our identity. It's going to take a long time to get through this year in terms of doing that, but it's great to have a reference.
This is a band.
Oh, you're going to click deeper now. Where are we going?
What role of person are you in the band? So in other words,
What you
you're
think?
making-
What are you trying to say? What are you?
We're talking about the lead singer of a band. What band are we putting you at the front of?
That's hilarious. I don't. It depends on the night.
All right, tonight.
I don't have a good reference for you. I was Haley Williams in Paramore tonight.